This holiday, whether you're making a Kroger Simple Truth turkey for 40 or a Murray's Baked Brie for 2, Kroger has fast, fresh delivery and free pickup, so you can make holiday meals that bring you all together to create memories that last. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Ring in the holiday with gifts, decor, and more at Lowe's. Save on top DeWalt gifts this holiday, like the 20-volt Max brushless 2-tool drill kit. Was $229, now $149. And choose a DeWalt 20-volt Max brushless drill or impact driver kit. Both are $99 for a limited time. Browse online, then come join the holiday excitement in store. Start your holiday shopping now at Lowe's. Valid through 2/1/23.
You're about to listen to a podcast full of wonder, excitement, and discovery. It's time for an adventure through Odyssey. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Adventures Through Odyssey podcast, Odyssey Revisited, the only Adventures in Odyssey podcast that caters to the 8 to 12 demographic that the club also caters to.
Oh no. We certainly don't. We certainly don't cater to the 8 to 12. 8 to 12-year-olds would be like, this is boring, and leave.
Don't you think some adults probably also think this is boring? I know I'm setting myself up for comments here.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Anyway, I'm Will here with John, and today we're going to cover some more episodes, and it's a interesting grab bag of episodes, I feel. So we're going to start with... Oh, what?
I was going to ask what the first episode was.
Yeah. We're going to start with The Ill-Gotten Deed. Whit tells Calvin the story of brothers Horace and Grover McAllister, illustrating how far less productive revenge is than work. Fun origins to the town of Odyssey. I remember liking this episode. Re-listening to it as an adult, it's not bad. It definitely feels like the writers maybe phoned it in a little bit on this one.
I mean, right. It's like a fun little bit of, like, backstory, you know, but it is just... And I think it's fun as a kid, because you're right. I do remember liking this episode quite a bit when I was a kid. But yeah, now it's a little bit still, like, you know, not bad. Now, it is also hard, you know, depictions of Native Americans.
Yes.
You know, always a little bit like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I agree.
Would Odyssey do this today? I would assume not, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's like a fine, kind of fun story. I still think it's good. Like, I don't think I was like, oh, this is like I actively dislike this episode. But right, I remember liking it more as a kid.
I would concur. So, again, it's fine. I like the brother aspect, especially because, you know, shoving all the dirty things under the bed feels like something John would have done growing up. Or at least figured out some way to circumvent the system, because for years...
Look, Winnie the Pooh taught me not to shove things under the bed.
Wow. Okay. If you don't know what he's referring to, folks, there's an episode of the animated Winnie the Pooh show that you can watch on Disney Plus where they find a whole evil world under Christopher Robin's bed.
Based on stuff he shoved under there.
Yes. But no, let's just make like Wilson in this month's club episode and tell the story. For years, when we were home during the summer, my mom would say, hey, John, can you unload the dishwasher, take out the garbage, and have Will mow the lawn? And suddenly, John would say, hey, Will, Mom wants you to take out the garbage, vacuum the house, unload the dishwasher, and mow the lawn. And this went on for a year or two before he was caught.
Okay, wait. I will admit, I have done that before. I think the amount of time I got away with it is much shorter than you're giving it credit for. I'll tell you this, I tried it probably for like a year, but I think you only like did it a few times.
Right, but then when we called you on the carpet about it, you said, well, Will needs to learn to question authority.
I think I did say something like that.
So, just point it out. But a good episode. I do love these History of Odyssey episodes. We learn a little more about the founding of the town.
Yeah. No, I think it's a fun episode as a kid, partly because you're like, whoa, this was Odyssey?
Exactly. And also, Rachel McAllister, voiced by Chris, one of the few times she has a character in the episode.
Fun.
Yeah. All right.
Good for her.
Yes. She's also on the cover of Treehouse Magazine this week. Or Clubhouse Magazine. Whatever it's called. All right. Rescue from Montego Point. Whit flashes back to the times he had as a signalman for the Navy during World War II.
So I was actually thinking, because I think you said something. Oh, you made a question about, like, Munich. Have they ever done an episode about, like, the German side of World War II?
Not directly.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we're forgetting something. But I was like, yeah, they've done, like, several, like, episodes focused on, like, the Japanese side of the war, which seems a little weird. I don't know if they don't want to touch the horrors of, like, the Nazis and, like, the Holocaust is the reasoning, but I just found that interesting.
That's true. I mean, the one episode I can think of is where Renee goes into the Room of Consequence and learns how to save somebody from the Nazis because of millstones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or as I like to call it, Pamela has another problem. Sorry, we shouldn't be making fun of that, but anyway. I like this episode. I think it kind of ties in a lot with the next episode. It's another good history of wit while throwing in some legitimately interesting American history.
Ties a lot into the next episode. It's basically the second part of the next. It's basically like a 2-part episode.
Yes, because Reginald Duffield shows up in the next one, Operation Dugout, which I guess we can just kind of talk about the two of them in tandem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think both are good. I think I talked a few weeks ago, like, I think I got confused about, like, an episode, and I think I was referring to this one. This is fine. I think it's, like, interesting. I think it's thrilling. It is, like, very much they're, like, trying to tell, like, a war story, sort of, like...
Definitely.
Yeah. It is funny, just given the Odyssey floating timeline now, though.
True, whereas I think if this show started today, Whit would probably be in Vietnam.
Right. If I don't even know, because it's like at this point, like I don't even know how old Whit's supposed to be.
That's a good question. Maybe the show can confirm that.
Because they made him sound younger. They made him sound younger. And so I don't know if he's supposed to be in his, like, 60s now. Which I always assumed he was in his, like, 60s.
Well, he lost all that weight.
Well, right, but still, though.
Right, okay, fair. Yeah. I'm going through everything. Sorry, folks. It's a war episode. It's not that I don't have a lot to say, but I feel like in the past we've noted we don't really have a lot to say on these episodes.
I mean, it's interesting. I do think the episodes really mix together a bit. I mean, partly because, right, it's just like talking about, like, his experiences with Reginald Duffield.
Right. Oh, here's something. This episode tells the story behind the wound in Whit's leg and the missing part of his upper ear. Items that were indicated in the first ever description written about Whit. Okay. So, unless I'm wrong, this has never come up outside of this episode, so Whit's just missing part of his ear and assumedly walks with a limp.
I want to see, is that present in the images? Because I've never noticed.
Well, I mean, we've never really had a focus on Whit's ear.
Now I want to know. Now I want to, like, see. I guess their argument could be like, it's not in this one. It's like, well, it's on his other ear. It's like, but
right.
It's a floating ear injury.
Floating ear injury. It doesn't matter. It's, again, just that whole thing about the Whit document. I still think it would be really fun, and we could probably beat Disney to the punch on this, if we went to Focus on the Family, the fake National Treasure trailer, trying to find the Whit document.
Yeah, you call it like the W document, like the Q document.
Oh, that's even better. Where's Will?
The W.
Knowing just Bob and Jesse to chase us around.
They're not letting us back in the Focus on the Family.
Oh, come on. Doesn't your wife's friend work there?
I don't think they could get a say.
Okay, just so everyone knows, we have not been banned from Focus on the Family.
I like to think, I don't know. I feel like Focus on the Family's either like we really love that they're this dedicated and they like talking about a product that much, or they're like, why do they keep doing this podcast and keep complaining about it? I feel like it's one or the other. And I think you've been a little crude at times that doesn't fit with this 8 to 12-year-old demographic that may have upset them.
Well, I guess that's possible. Okay, fine.
So I don't know.
Fine, we'll tape it ourselves, and then I get stuck in the slide. Help!
The slide's pretty big, if I recall.
I remember it being kind of thin.
Oh, maybe I was just smaller.
Right, so as I recall, like, the slide I could probably fit down, but it's a pretty narrow tube.
Probably.
So,
Hey, I don't think they let adults on, did they?
You have to be under a certain height.
Okay. That
Which,
makes
at
sense.
11, I was just barely short enough, so... Only time in my life I was short enough for something. Anyway. That's right, ladies. I am 6'4", you know, for whatever purpose that might serve. Anyway. I don't know what Mom's been telling. Anyway, moving on to the next episode as we escape from the awkwardness. The very best of friends. Donna realizes she's still bitter about Karen's death after a year. At the same time, Jimmy and Oscar put on a Shakespeare play.
This holiday, whether you're making a Kroger Simple Truth Turkey for 40 or a Murray's Baked Brie for 2, Kroger has fast, fresh delivery and free pickup, so you can make holiday meals that bring you all together to create memories that last. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Ring in the holiday with gifts, decor, and more at Lowe's. Save on top DeWalt gifts this holiday, like the 20-volt Max brushless 2-tool drill kit. Was $229, now $149. And choose a DeWalt 20-volt Max brushless drill or impact driver kit. Both are $99 for a limited time. Browse online, then come join the holiday excitement in store. Start your holiday shopping now at Lowe's. Valid through 2/1/23.
Get ready, Ohio. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to the Buckeye State. And to kick things off, you can get started with $100 in free bets as an early sign-on bonus. Plus, when you sign up today with promo code OHIO, you'll be all set for when FanDuel goes live in Ohio. Then you can bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports with $100 in free bets. Just download FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Bonus issued in non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in Ohio. 1/1/23. Unique user identity verification required. Offer ends on the go-live date. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Ohio, this is your chance to get in on the action. Join today with promo code OHIO.
Okay. So let me say this. I love Shakespeare, one of my favorite things, so I appreciate all the Shakespeare jokes. However, maybe tonally not the best episode to have it in.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they wanted to keep Duffield around for one more episode.
Well, because, yeah, let me say this. I love the whole Donna, Karen stuff. I think that's really interesting, really, like, deep, really good with the continuity. But at the same time, thank you. At the same time, I feel like, and the Shakespeare stuff, really funny, really good. But totally, it doesn't fit together at all.
I don't disagree, and I don't know if that's regarding parents' complaints about the first episode being too dark, or Odyssey feeling they needed to balance it out, or they felt like, oh, this is a less heavy subject than a person dying. So
I wonder if the thought was they're like, well, some people aren't going to know who Karen is.
Right. Yeah, so,
you know.
Yes. And I've often said this episode's a good companion to Karen because it ends with the cat coming back. We all kind of have a happy ending. See, let's move on and never talk about this again. So I like that they talked about it again. I guess, do you really want to know the one big thing I'd change in the story?
What?
Instead of Jesse and the students voting for Donna to be the host of this, because I feel like most of the school would know, oh, that's the last thing Donna's best friend did before she died. She probably won't want to do it.
I could see young kids thinking,
right,
wouldn't she love to do that? But the explanation that she doesn't even remember.
Yes.
Like, they don't remember her doing it. It's weird.
Well, no, because Jesse apparently moved there after Karen died, so I guess I get that, but none of the kids bring it up. What I think it should have been was the school wanted her to do it, because I don't want to slam a school, but I could totally see them saying, "Hey, we had this very difficult event as a school right after last year's, fall festival. Let's kind of close the book on that and have Donna come up and give some speech about Karen."
You're right. I think here's the thing. I think story-wise and, like, sense-wise, that'd be better. I think the reason they did it was supposed to be an episode about friendship.
Yes.
And so I think having the dynamic between Donna and Jesse.
Right. Or maybe they don't want to paint the adults as too insensitive.
Right. Like, if Donna had said, I don't want to do that. Like,
right.
The school would have been like, oh, yeah, totally. Like,
Yes. Okay, that's true.
They would have been like, unless, like, you'd have to have a real, like, full of it themselves adults to do that.
Yes, I do agree. But no, I like the metaphor with the Jerry story about hiding the math homework as a, kind of shoving it in his desk and forgetting about it. Now, I feel like at some point, wouldn't the teacher kind of confront Jerry about where's all your math homework?
It probably depends on the teacher. I think there are some teachers that just, like, don't ask about it.
That's probably true. Huh.
Though it does seem like maybe someone's kid did that, but it does seem weird.
I kind of agree. Maybe this was back in the old days, but...
Old school days.
Right. And weirdly, this is part of a trilogy of episodes that are all kind of tangentially connected about the Barkley kids learning heavy truths. Because the Romeo and Juliet thing comes back up in the Jimmy Goes Through Puberty episode.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, this is a trilogy of episodes.
The oddest Odyssey trilogy ever.
Just saying.
Trying to add that on as a trilogy is very funny of a thought. You start out really sad. Like, don't even call it a trilogy, Will. It upsets me too much.
Okay. Also, Wit's 100th episode.
Mm-hmm.
Including family portraits. Including family portraits, probably.
I was about to say that on here, I have this as episode 95.
Yes, we do. Wait, where was I going? But no, I would say this. This and Karen back-to-back are a good showing of how Odyssey has evolved in 1 year, because although Karen isn't bad, it's definitely very slow, and it feels like it's struggling to fill the 22 minutes, whereas this is a very compact episode that really feels like a breezy 22 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
I do agree. I wonder if there's a universe where, maybe Donna's parents are also in this and we don't do the goofy Jimmy stuff. Also, to imply Donna's never really talked about Karen over the year is interesting. So...
yeah, or, like, no one's ever brought up to Jesse that it's like, oh, like, how's Donna doing?
Right.
Because they seem like really close friends, and I'm kind of like, how long have they been friends for?
Well, according to Whit, it was before Karen died before Jesse came here, so it's been less than a year.
Yeah.
So
still curious.
But yeah, so good episode, a good follow-up about things I don't think enough people talk about in the fallout of these things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. The reluctant rival, Whit's granddaughter, Jenny Whitaker Dowd, is given a special violin solo, which causes friction with the other children.
So I think I really don't like this episode.
Yeah.
I have a lot of issues from a lot of different perspectives about this episode.
All right.
One, everyone's doing things I find questionable in this episode. I do like bringing back, Monty and Whit's daughter, and then kind of having Jenny be a character for the first time.
Yes.
I do think she's maybe a little, like, how it's like she impresses Eugene and even almost, like, one-ups Eugene.
So the read I've gotten on that, and I think this would be more obvious today, I think she's supposed to be on the spectrum.
I did not get that at all, Will. I don't think they're going for that at all.
Okay. Please
Will
continue.
doesn't like when I completely shut him down, but I did not get that sense.
Okay, well, a difference of opinion, I guess.
Here's the issue. First, who comes to Odyssey for like a month or two and then joins the youth orchestra?
I do agree.
That's already like kind of weird. And then like the orchestra conductor is just like, and this was before kind of the notion of like everyone has to win, but
I think we were slowly rolling into that.
I think we were slowly rolling into that, but it does seem genuinely upsetting to have like this person come in and suddenly like take apart, like this person who it's like, how do we know who she is?
She's Whit's granddaughter.
Right. And I get like the thought behind that, but like it does seem just a little bit like, why didn't you like think that like people are going to be upset at her for this?
Yes. So
so I already think that the situation's a little contrived.
Right, and I actually think there's a notable thing about her mom in this. So at the beginning, she's, Dad, don't sign her up. It doesn't give him the reason. But then when she gets to the part, her mom is, well, if Jenny did the best, she deserves to do it. And it just feels in contrast to how she was trying to stop Whit earlier.
Right. But then it's like, what's awful about this episode, from like an episode perspective, is Sandra's like an awful character, and the lesson's supposed to be on Jenny or like Whit's daughter.
Yes.
Like
I guess
that's who's supposed to learn the lesson, because it's like on the website it says the lesson's the golden rule, and it's a little bit like, what?
I agree.
Like, but like, right, I agree with, here's the thing, I get the mom's perspective, it's like, you did the best, why shouldn't you get it? But then she's acting like a total, like, awful person, and it could have been, like, something more like a bigger meaning for this one girl to just be told, like, you're really good, but, like, that's not the only reason I didn't give you the part. Like, she, like, could have been like, you've been mean to other people in this orchestra.
I agree. I also think there's a version of this where maybe the girl's disappointed but not throwing a fit, but the mom gets more involved.
I even think that. And, like, it's just the fact that, like, they have this, like, playoff, and, like, Jenny, like, clearly throws it, and the girl goes up, like, trying to be all friendly now.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really, like, do unto others. It's not like the girl realizes. I mean, maybe you could imply, like, maybe if there was something where the girl knew she could play super well and understood why she did it.
I do agree. I think part of the payoff is supposed to be Jenny did the right thing even if nobody else knows it. I don't know if it's the right thing. Here's the problem. I agree. If, like, my kid who's been practicing for a year suddenly got usurped by a random person's granddaughter who's here for a week, I'd probably speak up about it too.
Right, I would too. Like, I get that. But then it's just a little hard. Like, I'm, like, because you have these two characters being, like, rather, like, adverse due to, like, a weird situation, but, like, they never actually learned that what they did was wrong too.
Yeah, so yes, I would like to point out one positive about this episode.
It's like a Bart Rathbone type thing, where it's like where it's like, oh no, these characters just don't get, like, are just, like, bad, kind of slimy characters, and, like, we never really see these characters again, and it's like, that's just how they are.
Right.
But they're painted as being, like just a normal mother-daughter.
Right. I think someone on the writing staff clearly had, like, a vendetta against someone's gifted child.
Yeah.
So, or had a gifted child and wanted to write this episode for them. One of the two. But one scene I actually do like in this episode, not for the content, but just the implication, is when Monty and Jenny are walking and the girls come up to Jenny and start mocking her. And this is kind of where I thought maybe some of the On the Spectrum reading came from. Monty shuts the girls down pretty quickly, implying he has been through this quite a bit. And he just knows how to handle it.
Or I think the idea is Jenny's supposed to be way nicer than Monty.
Way nicer.
I think Jenny tries to be more, like, hospitable and, like, tries to be more friendly. And
right.
Monty we know is a little rough around the edges and just like, I'm shutting this down.
Right, but also I think we're supposed to get Jenny is sometimes unaware that her ability puts a target on her back.
I mean, maybe you're right. I think that could be true. I didn't get that reading in one iota, but it doesn't mean it's...
I wasn't saying on the spectrum, but...
You just said that!
I'm not saying... I'm saying outside of that. No, I'm saying on the spectrum or no, there's a clear read that, maybe Jenny, because her mom shelters her a little bit from everything, does not understand how she can come off to people.
Okay, well, sure. I think that's possible, but that's way different from being on the spectrum.
Okay, tell us how you feel about that in the comments, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
What?
It's such an out there reading, Will. I think you could be right. I think it could be in there, but I would not have thought that.
All right, last episode, Monty's Christmas. Frustrated that his mother always insults his father, Monty Whitaker Dow tries to find a way to escape his family problems.
I think, let me say this, I actually think this is an interesting topic and an interesting issue to address. I don't think this episode's particularly memorable.
I would agree with that.
But I think it's an interesting story to go about it, because I think you have the one hand of what the mom's reaction to the divorce and what she thinks about her child, and then also Monty reaction to it all.
Right. I do think it's a very good episode in the sense that we cover, hey, maybe even if the dad is a jerk, Monty still wants to see him. And that's kind of implied with Connie sometimes. Even if her dad is clearly a horrible person, Connie still wants to see him.
Yeah.
So, I will say, not any slam on Wit. The fact that it takes Wit till, the 13-minute mark to think maybe Monty misses his dad is interesting to me.
Maybe Monty... I mean, maybe... We don't know hardly anything about Monty's dad.
Just that he left and he and Monty are similar.
Right. I mean, maybe Monty is... Monty's dad was, real bad. And so Wit is right, who could miss him?
Well, as much as I would concur with that statement, I feel like if that was the case, it would have at least come up in a line of dialogue. Or maybe because Wit's never been through a divorce, he doesn't think that way. Because, his mom died, so he probably missed his mom, but did not conflate the two, because if Monty's dad was bad, So...
Mm-hmm. It is just funny. Sometimes you get stuff a character saying that, and it's clearly because it's a children's show.
Right.
And it's a child not in that situation may not realize that. And so it's you have to have an adult character or something say it, but when the adult character says it, you're just
yes.
Duh.
We know. Now, do I think and this might just have been too manipulative on Wit's part, is there a better version of this episode where he knows what's going on almost from the get-go and tries to egg his daughter into the right situation? Maybe.
Maybe. I think they didn't want any more. I didn't think they didn't want the main thing to be fighting with his daughter.
Yes, I do agree. I do like that because Connie's a child of divorce, they really let her own that scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene. Like, it's a great, meeting of the characters.
Oh, yeah. Which, to be fair, is kind of funny, because remember, in the original cut of Member of the Family, it was Connie who gives Monty the money, but then it got switched out for Jimmy for some reason.
Yeah, which is intriguing.
Not important, but just an interesting point.
Yeah.
I'm going back through all the points of the episode. The snow friend I found okay. No.
Feels like almost... Huh?
Oh. So, go ahead and say what you were going to say, because we might have the same thought.
I was going to say the snow friend seems like some kind of weird, gender joke.
Yes.
Criticism of, gender norms.
Yes, I 100% thought if this episode were written today with that scene, they would have turned it into a discussion about pronouns.
It would have been a joke, a subtle, as clean as Odyssey could get with it. But it's just funny that they kind of had this as its own thing apart from that today.
Yes,
in this episode.
Quick note: we support you no matter what your pronouns are.
Yes, I feel like Odyssey wouldn't do that today. Honestly, I think Odyssey would know that joke would be too charged.
You hope.
Yeah.
But yes, that joke would be way too charged.
Or, I guess they could do this joke, because it's really not, criticizing anything. It's really... She's just saying, it's my snow friend.
And Jenny is so smart, you would probably believe she'd be forward-thinking enough to truly think about something like that.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to point that out. We're not making fun of pronouns. It was just interesting.
Yeah. Is that all we have to talk about?
I believe so. Any other notes you have on this episode?
Not much. I think it's good. As I said, I like where it's coming from, but it's a little,
Yes.
It's not the, I don't know if I could, without going back through it, if I could have pulled this episode out of my memory, that's what it was about. I could remember that Wit's grandkids came. I probably couldn't remember this episode was about this.
Right. I remember the Glass Angel ending. I just didn't remember what happened before it.
Yeah.
So, I think that wraps it up. Also, Jenny and Monty would be good candidates for characters to bring back.
They would be.
I think especially if they ever decide to retire Wit as a character, Monty coming back to run Wit's End with Connie and Jason might be a good idea.
Yeah.
So.
I agree.
All right. Yeah. So that wraps it up. I think by the time you hear this episode, the new album will be about to drop, so buckle up.
Buckle up.
I'm Will.
I'm John.
We'll see you next time.
Whether it's Kroger Simple Truth Turkey or mac and cheese with Murray's English Cheddar or pie made with fresh Cosmic Crisp apples, there are many dishes we look forward to sharing during the holidays. And Kroger has all the fresh ingredients you need to turn today's holidays into tomorrow's memories. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get ready, Ohio. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to the Buckeye State. And to kick things off, you can get started with $100 in free bets as an early sign-on bonus. Plus, when you sign up today with promo code OHIO, you'll be all set for when FanDuel goes live in Ohio. Then you can bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports with $100 in free bets. Just download FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Bonus issued in non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in Ohio. 1/1/23. Unique user identity verification required. Offer ends on the go-live date. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Ohio, this is your chance to get in on the action. Join today with promo code OHIO.